2024-25 NFHS basketball rule changes. Electronic devices. The use of electronic devices during a game is limited to the purposes of recording and tracking stats, reviewing or diagramming plays, or other similar contest-related functions. Items that do not meet these requirements are not allowed during play. Play pick A, legal. Coach is using a tablet to diagram a play. Play pick B, illegal. Player wearing headphones during competition. Rationale clarifies the type of electronic devices that are allowed during the game, prohibiting the use of voice and video recording devices worn during a contest. Scorers' duties. Non-official scorers are required to compare records with the official score when multiple scorers are present. If there is a discrepancy, the official scorer must notify the referee immediately. Rationale allows the official scorer to remain focused on game activity and places the responsibility of comparing scoring and other bookkeeping information on the auxiliary scorers. Substitutions. A team is allowed 20 seconds to address any minor blood on the body or uniform of a player without that player having to leave the game. The official will allow the player to reach the bench area before signaling to start the timer. A warning signal will be given at 15 seconds. If the blood cannot be appropriately cleaned or covered within 20 seconds, the head coach may use a timeout to address the issue or substitute for the player. Rationale provides a short interval of time to handle a blood-related issue without delaying the game, while still addressing the health-related concerns associated with blood on a player. A player who has been injured must be removed from the game if the coach is beckoned by an official, whether the coach enters the playing court or not, or if bench personnel, i.e. a coach or an athletic trainer, enters the court without being beckoned. Play pick A. Coach is beckoned, player must be removed. Play pick B. Coach enters the court without being beckoned, player must be removed. The coach may still use a timeout to continue assessment of the injury and allow the injured player to remain in the game. Rationale creates consistency for officials that an injured player is subject to removal from the game when an injury occurs and the coach or team personnel are beckoned or if they enter the court without an official beckoning. Uniforms. A school logo or mascot image may now be placed on the front of the jersey, centered directly above the uniform number in place of an identifying name. Rationale removes the restriction of allowing only lettering on the front of the jersey. Basket interference. A player is allowed to touch only the net while the ball is on or within the basket, provided that, in the official's judgment, the net contact does not affect the ball, allowing play to continue. If a player's contact with the net impacts the path of the ball, basket interference shall be called. Rationale allows play to continue unless the contact of the net affects the try for goal. Closely guarded. In states where the 35-second shot clock is being utilized, state associations may adopt a modification to the closely guarded rule that allows a player to dribble the ball for more than 5 seconds while closely guarded. As such, a closely guarded violation would only occur if a player holds the ball while closely guarded for 5 or more seconds. Rationale permits states utilizing the 35-second shot clock to allow players to dribble without enforcing the closely guarded rule, since they have a 35-second time limit to attempt a try for goal, maintaining an appropriate pace of play. Warning for delay. A new 5th delay warning has been added to address when a player fails to immediately pass the ball to the nearer official when the whistle sounds. A warning for delay is issued on the first occurrence, and A team technical foul is issued for any subsequent violation of Rule 4-47, warning for delay. Rationale allows officials to issue a warning before assessing a technical, and the technical will now be assessed to the team and not the player, lessening the severity of the penalty while addressing the behavior. Warning for faking being fouled. A new definition for faking being fouled, flopping, has been created that includes a warning for a first team offense and a team technical foul for all subsequent infractions. The warning for the first offense is recorded in the scorebook, play pick 2, and reported to the head coach, play pick 1, following the ruling so as not to disrupt play and take away the advantage that may exist for the team that is not being warned. The ruling official will use the new signal, number 15, to indicate a flopping ruling when it occurs. Rationale allows officials to issue a warning before assessing a technical, and the technical will now be assessed to the team and not the player, lessening the severity of the penalty while addressing the behavior. Out of bounds. A player is out of bounds if contacted by a teammate or other bench personnel outside of the boundary line of the playing court provides an advantage that allows the player to remain in bounds. Rationale establishes that a player cannot be assisted from outside the boundary line by a teammate or bench personnel to remain in bounds. Administrative, bench, and team technicals. Administrative, team, and bench technical fouls that occur during pregame offset if they occur in equal numbers between the two teams. No free throws are awarded, and the game begins with a jump ball. Also, the head coach does not lose the privilege of the coaching box. Rationale clarifies that an equal number of technical fouls committed by teams during pregame offset and establishes how the game will start after offsetting technical fouls. Team technical. The penalty for dunking or attempting to dunk or stuff a dead ball during pregame or intermission is now a team technical foul. The offending player will no longer have a personal foul charged against them that counts towards disqualification. The offending team's head coach will not lose the privilege of using the coaching box. Rationale continues to penalize the offending team with a technical foul, 2 free throws plus the ball for a division line throw-in awarded to the offending team, and a foul added to the offending team count, but no longer requires the coach to lose the coaching box to start the game, and no personal foul is awarded. Rule change reminder. Uniforms. A rule passed prior to the 2019-2020 season takes effect this year as the option to have the jersey numbers that are the same color as the predominant color of the jersey has now been eliminated. The 2 legal options are a solid contrasting number with no more than 2 solid colored quarter-inch borders around the entire number, or with a contrasting number with a shadow trim of a contrasting color not to exceed a 1/2 inch in width that may be used with 1/4 inch border. 2024-2025 NFHS basketball editorial changes. Officials' jurisdiction. This note clarifies that scoring, timing, and bookkeeping errors are not reviewable after the official's jurisdiction has ended, while state associations may intercede on a case-by-case basis for unusual incidents outside these areas. Uniforms. 1 visible manufacturer's logo, trademark, or reference may be placed anywhere on the team jersey, provided it does not interfere with the visibility of the uniform and meets all size specifications. Team control. Clarification that team control during a throw-in only applies to fouls committed by the offense. Therefore, 3 seconds and backcourt violations are not in effect. Also, team control, as a result of a throw-in, remains in the team's control until player control is established by either team on the court. Throw-in provisions. Officials should ignore an intentional throw-in plane violation or a player interfering with the ball following a goal when the clock is running and there are 5 seconds or less on the game clock. Throw-in provisions clarifies that after a warning is issued during an alternating possession throw-in, the throw-in remains an alternating possession throw-in. Official NFHS basketball signals. New signal number 15 for flopping or faking being fouled. Signal number 21, renamed delayed violation withheld whistle, and shall be used to signal when a player steps out of bounds on their own volition, in addition to a free throw lane violation by the defense. Signal number 25, renamed backcourt and first to touch from out of bounds violation, and shall be used to signal the violation once the player is the first to touch the ball after returning to the playing court, in addition to a backcourt violation. 2024-2025 NFHS basketball points of emphasis. Officials should use a warning for delay to ensure the game maintains an appropriate pace of play, including throughout the administration of penalties, throw-ins, free throws, etc. Rule 4-47 defines a warning for delay as an administrative procedure by an official that is recorded in the scorebook by the scorer and reported to the head coach. The 5 warnings for delay are throw-in plane violation, huddle by either team or contact with the free thrower that delays the administration of the free throw, interfering with the ball following a goal, failure to have the court ready following a timeout, and new to 2024-2025, failure to immediately pass the ball to the nearer official. Any 2 delay warnings will result in a team technical foul. The warnings do not have to be issued for the same reason or to the same person to escalate to a team technical foul. Officials must utilize the warning for delay as soon as the behavior occurs. Faking being fouled. Faking being fouled continues to be a point of concern for the NFHS Basketball Rules Committee, 20 years after it was first added to the NFHS Basketball Rules Book. A warning for acts such as overtly embellishing the impact of incidental contact, using a head bob to simulate illegal contact, or using any other tactic to create an opinion of being fouled and therefore gaining an advantage has been added to the rulebook. Officials will utilize the new signal number 15 at the time the flop occurs. The warning lessens the severity of the penalty while continuing to address the behavior and provides officials with an opportunity to warn a player before issuing a technical foul, allowing players to adjust their behavior before receiving a harsher penalty. Proper procedures for handling blood. Previously, when an injury occurred that involved blood on a player and/or uniform, play was stopped and the player was directed to leave the game until the bleeding was stopped, the wound was covered, the uniform and/or body was appropriately cleaned, and the uniform is changed before returning. A new rule provides a team with 20 seconds to address blood situations without being charged a timeout. Officials should allow the player to report to the sideline near the team bench before signaling to the timer to begin the 20-second timer. If the issue is resolved within 20 seconds, the player will be permitted to remain in the game. If the issue is not resolved within 20 seconds, a coach may request a timeout to allow the player to remain in the game.
Here at Bison, our marketing tagline is a goal for every game. We're manufacturers first, and I think that's why we have a strong history of making affordable, durable, innovative, and cost-effective products. Again, we want to thank all of our dealers, all of our customers for all these years, in the success that you've helped us create, in the safety we've helped create in the marketplace, in the innovative products that we've worked together to bring to the market for the good of youth, high school, and college sports.